Hi everyone, welcome to Chris Auto Notes. Today is Industry Insights 2. Why automation engineers are in short supply. I want to talk about an issue that's resonating more and more with everyone in the factory, automation, and even semiconductor equipment industries. The severe and growing shortage of automation engineers. And we're not just talking about general engineers. The shortage is ridiculously high specifically for electrical control and PLC engineers. Today we are going to use 10 slides to clearly and thoroughly break down this entire structural labor shortage. Let's look at the phenomenon first. Over the past 5 years, the demand for automation equipment has simply exploded. Semiconductor capacity expansion, automotive electronics growth, accelerated automation in 3C assembly, and massive implementations in warehousing and logistics. Almost every equipment vendor is buying machines like crazy, but the manpower just isn't keeping up, especially for core talent like PLC and electrical control. If you know how to code and aren't afraid to debug, you're hired on the spot. The whole market is in a state of severe supply shortage. The first core reason is that the source pool is shrinking. The vocational education system has been declining for a decade, with fewer and fewer students in electrical and mechanical engineering. On top of that, university students generally don't want to work on the factory floor, and parents prefer their kids to go into IT or white-collar jobs. This caused a massive gen of students who originally should have entered the automation field right at the source. The labor shortage is already accumulating from the high school level. The increasing complexity of modern production lines is the second core reason for this shortage. Today's equipment might involve multi-axis synchronization, collaborative robots, EtherCAT vision positioning, data uploading, and MES integration. Engineers must simultaneously understand electrical systems, control logic, communications, and on-site mechanics. This is no longer a job you can handle just by knowing how to write ladder logic. The cross-disciplinary requirements are just too high, meaning newcomers can learn it fast enough. The pressure is immense, and they quickly, naturally making the gap wider and wider. The training in most schools has a huge gap compared to actual industry needs. Many schools use very outdated PLC models, and they don't teach EtherCAT, multi-axis control, servo tuning, robot integration, or real-world debugging. When students graduate, they are basically starting from absolute zero. The training costs for companies are very high, yet new hires often leave before hitting the 6-month mark. This creates a vicious cycle. Newcomers can get up to speed, and veterans are constantly being poached. So why are PLC engineers even harder to find than other engineers? The reasons are very clear. The technology is cross-disciplinary. Power distribution, control, communications, access control, safety. The syntax isn't intuitive. It's a mix of ladder, function block, and ST. Debugging risks are extremely high. A tiny parameter error can cause a machine crash. Massive market demand. Almost all automation equipment requires a PLC. The talent pool is inherently small, and those who can independently bring a system online and dare to take responsibility are even rare. The workload of a PLC engineer is incomparable to that of a standard engineer, pulling all-nighters to debug, traveling on weekends, and having to rush to the site immediately if a machine goes down. A single machine's downtime could cost the company over $1 million a day. So all that pressure falls squarely on the engineer's shoulder. Many people do it for a while, decide it's not worth it, and jump ship to become an FAE, PM, sales, or just pivot to the IT sector entirely, resulting in an extremely high turnover rate. And automation industry is mostly made up of small and medium-sized equipment vendors, which causes several long-term problems. Engineers have to do everything themselves. Salaries are suppressed at the basic engineer rate. There are few promotion channels, and once their skills getting strong, they get poached by outside companies. This forms a fixed loop. Train a newcomer gets strong. Newcomer quits, train again, quit again. Equipment vendor can retain their people, so the talent gap naturally just keeps growing. So the whole problem can be summed up in one sentence. Just because you can do power distribution doesn't mean you can code a PLC. Just because you can code a PLC doesn't mean you dare to debug. Those who can code, dare to debug, and can communicate with clients make up less than 5% of the market. What companies truly need aren't just people who can write ladder logic, but combat-ready engineers who can independently handle the floor, bear risk, and communicate. Naturally, this type of talent becomes the rarest technical human resource. Over the next 10 years, automation equipment is only going to get more complex. PC-based systems, EtherCAT, collaborative robots, data integration, and AI-assisted control, all All of these require PLC engineers who understand the factory floor and understand control. This is also exactly why this profession will become increasingly scarce and harder to replace. If you're an engineer or in technical sales, these skills will be your strongest mount for the next decade. If you like my video, please share and subscribe my channel. See you next time.